Hope everybody's having a great day today. All right, GoGo, I would say let's go ahead and get started.
All right, great. Welcome everybody to the Gemini Enterprise Primer today. Just some logistics around our session. We are recording the session. We encourage you to participate. We've got a question and answer poll. Matt, did you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so we're using Google Meet today. I understand many of you used to Microsoft Teams, so just a quick primer on this. So for the purpose of, we've got a large audience today, so we're going to have chat is kind of disabled, and your mics will be muted and videos off for it. At the end, we'll open it up when we do question and answer. But on the bottom right side, you'll see the 999 dots within Google Meet, and this is kind of like the tool setup. Within that, you'll see Q&A, and here's where you can ask questions. We encourage as many questions as you can. We've got a team of Googlers here, so keep them coming. If you see a question that resonates that one of your colleagues, teammates has asked already, then just thumbs it up and we'll kind of prioritize as we answer them as well. And then towards the end, when we have Q&A, we'll open the mics and then just do the hand raise. You'll see it at the bottom at the end, and then we'll cover questions as we come. But hopefully that makes sense for everyone. Back to you, GoGo.
Okay, great. So we wanted to make sure that you all have kind of your guardrails around using Gemini Enterprise responsibly. So your team has put this together, and Jennifer, please chime in if you'd like to. But sure. We, encourage you to make sure you're going to this URL, and I think Matt has already linked it into the chat so that you don't have to type this out. And so this is your approved link to access Gemini Enterprise. Use your best judgment on how to use Gemini Enterprise. Obviously, we encourage you to explore, but always, use common sense and the guardrails that McDonald's has put forth for you. Be respectful and transparent when using AI outcomes. Always double check your work and review all of the outputs, right? We don't want any AI slop. Right. So the other thing to note is there's a great list of FAQs, and you can email this email address, geminienterprise@us.mcd.com, for anything that you'd like to bring to the attention of your team. Anything I missed there, Jennifer? Or are we good?
No, I think that's perfect, GoGo. Thanks so much, and grateful for everyone being here today. I know we have a lot of excited people here to learn more about Gemini, and so reach out to me anytime as well. I'm Jen Weymouth. I'm our Manager of Learning and Development. I support Tech Academy and Global Tech here. So we're excited to have Google here today to take us through the first of 3 kickoff sessions for Gemini. Just to make a quick point, all of the 3 sessions will have similar content. So just choose the one that works best for you. All right, over to you, GoGo.
Great. And this is a feedback QR code. We'll share it again after the session at the end of the slides. So just kind of note this, maybe have this on, the side open so that you can easily access it later. But we definitely want your feedback, and hopefully we'll have other presentations later that we can drill into any specific areas that need more attention in terms of enablement. So here's your team. We've got the Googlers on the call. We've got a litany of people who are here supporting the McDonald's relationship. I will introduce myself. I am Gloria. Don't call me that. It's so boring. GoGo is what I go by. You are absolutely allowed to call me that. There's a story behind why I have that nickname, but you'll get to know me and understand it fits. Matt, do you want to introduce yourself?
Great to see you all. Matt Robinson, so I'm the principal architect of the account, dedicated to McDonald's. Super excited to see you all and look forward to kind of join us on the AI journey at McDonald's. Really exciting stuff.
Okay, and I think we've got Jeremy on the call as well.
Yeah, hi everybody, Jeremy Wirtz. I'm a customer engineer. I help out Matt and I focus really deeply in AI. I've been in that AI space now for about 20 years, Google five years, and excited to work with McDonald's here.
Great. And Jupiter will be joining for other sessions as well. So yeah, this is your account team. We are here to help you. I am the AI specialist. And so what we have planned for you today is an hour-long session. We're going to go through, kind of what this core platform really is, what you can do out of the box. We're going to go through the different this point. Then we're going to walk through some maybe custom agents, give you a little bit of an opportunity to play around with it, and then we'll have Q&A at the very end, as Matt mentioned. Okay, now this is not an AI generated picture. This is a real picture I took from your corporate headquarters. And so I am wearing a McDonald's jacket here. I am excited to be in your corporate headquarters, just a block away. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time. Hopefully, Jennifer will invite me to do an in-person session for those of you that are in the building there. Okay. I love to share this analogy, and my Googlers who have been on other enablement calls have heard this before, but I think it's such a powerful memo. This memo was from 1980, and it's from a guy by the name of Mike Scott, who was kind of the adult in the room when Apple was engineering and releasing the Apple II word processor. And basically, it was a mandate from Mike Scott to the entire Apple organization that said, stop using the typewriters. We will not be buying typewriters anymore. We will not be using typewriters anymore. Get rid of them. How are we going to actually sell our Apple II if we're not using it ourselves? And it's very relevant because we at Google, we dog food. And if you haven't heard that term, it's our way of saying we eat our own dog food. We use our tech. We are in the trenches. We're shaping it. We're constantly learning from it, evangelizing. So this is our typewriter moment, and it's your typewriter moment too. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I just last night watched the documentary on BlackBerry. For those of you that were around when the BlackBerry and Palm Pilot era was going on, I lived through that as well. So it's a very exciting time. We are at the forefront of all of this great technology. So we're very honored to be a part of the McDonald's ecosystem for AI. This is just one part of the journey that we're on together, the Gemini Enterprise rollout. We're doing a lot of projects. So hopefully, if you've worked with our team, you're involved or will be involved in those projects in the future. So at the core, Gemini Enterprise really serves a very powerful function. In our, somebody might need to go on mute there. Give me just 1 second. Okay, perfect. As we know, on average, when you work in a corporate environment, there's about 254 different applications on average that you have to access in your job. So it's probably much more at McDonald's, right? Being such a massive corporation. How do you kind of navigate all that? That's really the core competency of what Gemini Enterprise brings to the table in terms of getting through knowledge, finding information. It's like your Google search for your enterprise knowledge. And we'll go into more detail on that shortly. We see Gemini Enterprise as really the front door to your agentic enterprise. And so that's what you're going to see today. How could you harness this AI in your workplace with more creativity, getting access to all of the creative models? How can you make more impact? We used AI to improve our email writing. We're trying to move way past that, making it past productivity. How can you really transform your business? So Gemini Enterprise, just fundamentally, there's the brains of all the models that we have. For those of you that have already used Gemini or familiar with our family of different models, that's what's the underpinning of all of our infrastructure here. The workbench is kind of a chat interface, and you're going to see this firsthand. And then the task force are Google-built agents that I will show you as well. The context is what's really important, and it is the fundamental knowledge base of your enterprise, right? So it's a safe way to access your domain-specific knowledge in an infrastructure that keeps everything safe and secure. So that is really what we want you to kind of walk away with. So our journey today is just really starting. As I mentioned, we've been on the journey with Gemini Enterprise for well into a couple of years now. We actually have had many kind of renditions of this before we landed on the name Gemini Enterprise. I think there was a little bit of resistance to the name at first. I think it's a great name because it does live on the Gemini family of models. So without further ado, I'm not going to use any more slides. I am going to go straight to our environment. And again, Matt, you have linked to the URL that people can access this, correct? Yes. All right. So what you're seeing right now is the McDonald's tenant. This is your Gemini Enterprise. I am actually in your environment today showing how this works. And so I'm going to just give you an orientation of where to find things and what you can do. So it's going to be kind of an out of the box experience. We will get into more of like advanced use cases for agents a little bit later. But today I'm going to focus on what you can do day one by just turning this on. And so what we call this box in the middle, if you could see my cursor, this is what we call the Omni box. And from here, you can do things like upload files. You can access your company data, your search data that's connected, and I'll show you what is connected here in a second. You can search the web. You can do deep research from here. You can generate images using our extremely popular Nano Banana. Just by a show of hands, who has used Nano Banana, or do you know what it is? Show of hands or emojis. Do we have a banana emoji out there? I'm hoping we do. Okay, good. Looks like we have a lot of Nano Banana lovers, but that is our really robust and powerful image model. So guess what? You can access that straight from here. And so you can also access Veo, which is a very powerful video. I see a lot of emojis now. Okay, I'm loving it. Thank you. Got it. Okay, wonderful. I'm not sure what's up with the crab emoji, but I'll take that too. All right, so when you look at this Omnibox, in addition to all those pieces of functionality, these are the connectors. So right now, McDonald's has already invested the time through the GBS team to enable these connectors. You are connected to Google Search, your AD, your Confluence, your Jira, your OneDrive, your Outlook, your SharePoint, your Teams. So, and I'm sure there's more coming. We have just dozens of connectors that are ready to deploy, but this is where your team, is working with our team to make sure that things are rolling out in the most secure way to your teams. So when you're in this Omnibox, you can actually turn these connectors off, or you can leave them on, depending upon what kind of query you want to run. And then you also have the ability to change the model. Now, we recommend that you just leave it on auto, because Gemini is smart enough to know that based on your question, it will pick the right tool for the job. And sometimes we pick models that may not be the best suited for the question. So I just recommend leaving the auto on, but at least you can see the different options here. Okay, so now we're going to navigate over to the left here. And this is where all of your different options really play in. You can have a new chat. Anytime you want to ask a new question, you want to use the new chat. You can search things that you've already chatted about before, which is great. Again, using the power of Google search here, it's really good at finding things you chatted about before. These are your starred different queries. So anything that you've wanted to kind of keep top of the list, you can star them. And then we have a great library of different things. And I'm just going to call out what I have in my library. Can I put you on the spot, Archit? I created an infographic through Gemini Enterprise for Archit. We definitely need some emojis about Archit's ML and AI career here. This is his journey, but this is a very simple infographic using his public profile data. I really encourage you to create one of your own. It's a lot of fun to kind of show your kids your career history using the infographic, different techniques there. Okay, so that's the library. We're going to move into agents a little bit later, but just by way of showing you the framework. When you hit agents, you can create new agents using natural voice, or what you're going to see here at the top are agents made by Google. You've got deep research, which we're going to go into shortly, idea generation, and something called Notebook LM. I'd love to see emojis on who has actually used Notebook LM. I think the crab emoji is a favorite. Okay, perfect. Now, important to note that if you've used Notebook LM for consumer, it is not the same as the Notebook LM for enterprise. We have a lot of security precautions built into Notebook LM for enterprise. And what's great about this version of Notebook LM inside Gemini Enterprise, there's some tips and tricks to make Notebook LM work within GE that is really, really useful. And I'll show you those quickly. So this is where you'll find Made by Google agents, and there's going to be more to come. Your agents that you've actually created, your first party agents. And then there's going to be another section of agents where your organization are going to build custom agents from, where they choose to build them, but they're going to publish them and register for your use based on your job here. And it will say from your organization. So it's going to look a little bit different. And again, Matt will kind of go into that. So couple more things to show you. Deep research is one of the agents that I will be explaining in a second. I've got idea generation and then Notebook LM. So let's go into idea generation first. So just so that you understand what this is, we make things look really easy at Google, but there's a lot going on in the background. The idea generation agent is multiple agents. I think somebody told me it's about 30 different agents that are working in the background. And basically you give it a business problem or any kind of thing to solve for where you want to come up with ideas. It might be even, ideas for employee appreciation events. I mean, just use your creativity, and this can be really used for anything. But in this particular case, I ran one earlier because it takes quite a while to run this. It's pretty robust. I ran one for your McDonald's leadership with the idea of give me some ideas on no-code agents leaders could use to generate in Gemini Enterprise. And basically the agent went out for about an hour and ran this whole, system of different agents working together. And if you see, it's come up with over 100 very robust ideas. So 109, I just scrolled down to the bottom. Now, what you'll also notice is that these are organized by something called the ELO rating. If you're familiar with chess, you've heard this term. It's a methodology for, ranking these tournament results. And so this is the number one idea that came up based on the attributes that I gave it. And so if you like this idea, I just want to show you the thoroughness of the output here. So remember, there are 109 ideas. This is one idea, and I'm just going to scroll quickly just so you could see the volume. I don't expect you to be reading this. This is about 20 pages of how detailed this idea has been vetted. So who's going to read all that? I don't think I am. It's a lot of work, right? So what you can do here is leverage the power of Notebook LM by hovering over this little icon and say, okay, I want to add this to a notebook. And so in this case, I'm going to add it to a new notebook, and it's adding the item to a notebook. And basically it's going to give me a different list of ideas to distill that and have you digest it. So that is the idea generation agent. Again, it can be used for multiple things, and it does take a while to run. So give yourself time when you want to use that. Okay, so let's say you decide, I love that number one idea. Why don't we throw that into deep research now? You could come here and go to deep research and put that idea here. You can actually add more detail to the deep research that you want to do. You can actually use sources here so that you connect to different internal sources, or turn them off and just use Google search and then run deep research here. So once you do that, you can also really build out your ideas by bringing those into Notebook LM. So I'm going to take you over to Notebook LM now. Okay, here was the one. So Notebook LM embedded in here. And what is Notebook LM? It's basically an AI notebook that takes sources that you source, or you can pull sources from a Google web search. You can actually put documents in here. So you can add, different websites. You can add YouTube videos. You can add files. There's all kinds of different file types as an enterprise level customer you can add here. Microsoft, PowerPoint, whatever it is. And then you can distill those things down into a form where you can actually aggregate them together or look at them individually. Another really powerful feature is the copy text, which again, we'll go into more detail. We could probably have a whole session on Notebook LM as a follow-up, but it's a really robust and powerful way to distill information. So this is the idea that I clicked. You saw me click it and add to a new notebook. Now I can come over here and say, okay, give me an audio overview of this. Give me a video overview of this idea. Give me a mind map of this. Give me a briefing doc, a study guide, an FAQ, a timeline. So this is, really very useful when you're talking about lots and lots of information. I'll show you one that is a little bit more, built out with more sources. And I'll just kind of show you, kind of what this might look like.
Okay, so let's unpack this. I'm your host, and today we are getting
of those kitchens. That is an ongoing exercise in taming chaos.
because you're dealing with like human variables, economic variables, legislative variables, all of it.
Exactly.
Which
So basically, it took an idea that I had in here, and now it put it into this podcast form. You notice there's 2 podcast hosts. You can customize this to a degree in terms of length and complexity. And then you can also interact with the hosts and literally ask them questions as they're talking. So it's a really neat way to generate information and, just kind of digest sources. Okay, so that was a really fast, let's see, I've got 127, Matt. I think that was probably a whirlwind record for my overview here. I'm going to go ahead and stop.